All right, Emma.
Okay, how's it now?
It's great. No clicking, no nothing. It's fantastic.
Okay.
All right.
So if it's a
So
wait a second, if this is a Jewish boy calls his mother, I gotta get to be more of a Jewish mother. So what are
no,
you eating
no, no, no,
today? Are
no,
you
no, no.
eating
That's the trick.
enough?
This is the trick I'm talking about. Is that like I want to stay away from stereotypes. I want to stay
Okay.
away from anything that's like, oh, bagels and lox. I can't stand that stuff. I think it's generic. I think it's stupid. I think it's silly. It drives me up the wall. I
I
can't
know.
stand it.
I
So
know.
it's like I'd rather have it just it's something simple. I want people to like engage first, thinking it's some comedic, like, oh, how's it going? But realize it's just two people talking, and just to break the stereotype. That's my main
Right.
goal, really, in this bit is just to break the stereotype of the poor sap Jewish boy who needs his mother all the time to congratulate him, and he's always demanding. And I'm just so nervous. Like I hate fucking can't
I
stand that shit.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't stand when I see television programs or movies that stereotype us, and I keep wondering who is advising these idiots that are producing these movies and television programs. I mean, it's just plain not true.
I think I think what it's just like it's just I don't want to start like saying, oh, it's racist this, racist that. I think it's people that are just plain ignorant. They're very ignorant of themselves or of other people, or they kind of like lean into it because it's an easy trope to get into. Because media, the whole point of media is to grab attention. So the biggest ones that get the attention are the stereotypes,
Yeah.
So the
Hmm.
more stereotype you act, it's just the more attention you get. And it's just ridiculous. So yeah, no, I just want to have like a very easygoing conversation with you,
Okay.
just like we normally have. That's the thing.
Right.
One of the reasons why I got into this with you
Hmm.
is because it's like, true, this guy really one of the guys when I was doing an interview really liked the sound of my voice and said I should do a podcast and said I should really get involved. So I'm like, okay, fine, I don't mind. But I think like we have conversations that just, in my opinion, just make more sense, and I think would be interesting for other people to hear.
Hmm.
So that's why I figured let's lean into that. Let's get into that. Let's see what's going on. Oh, your phone thing is doing that thing again. Are you walking, moving around, or
No, I'm not. I'm sitting in a chair in a quiet room.
it's so weird? I don't know. Whatever. It's
There was something that came on my phone that said that I needed a music app to do
music app.
this. Yeah, I
Music
need the
app.
I need the app music in order
No, I
to do
don't think you
this.
need the music app. I don't have a music app.
Hmm.
I like I'm recording on the Apple iPhone. You have an Apple iPhone, right?
Right. Hmm.
Yeah. No, I think whatever.
Yeah, that crackly sound is back.
It's oh God, it's so annoying. Um. All right. Well, we'll have to just apologize to it. I'll see if I can cut some of this stuff up. Um. It's gonna be this show is gonna be really archaic, anyways, because it's just me and you talking over the phone.
Uh-huh.
And yeah. So let's go. Let's bring it back. Let's do um. Let's just go. Let's go right into it. I think trying to fluff things up, in my opinion, I don't know. It's just not us. I don't think that's really something that we do. We don't like fluffing it up. And I remember growing up, it's like Tati did not like fluff. He couldn't stand it. He could not stand fluff. Um, yeah. So the main thing we're talking about was something I saw in a TV show yesterday. Um, the Umbrella Academy. It's a really good show. And there's one quick scene where this woman is trying to is playing third chair in this orchestra, and she's speaking to the first the first chair, and she told her like, oh, you're really great. And she said, in a way, she said that like sometimes talent is better than trying or working on something. And I think that's an interesting topic to discuss, because I think that like
Mhm.
I know you're very talented. I don't want to like toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm kind of talented. But like we both have seen people that have been really really talented in front of us and being like, wow, there's like no way in hell, no matter how hard I try, we'll ever get there. Is that just like negativity that we talk to ourselves, or is that just a reality that like I think we're willing to accept?
That's a really good question. Well, for a number of years, I've been a music teacher. I've seen all kinds of people who have taken lessons from me, and I've worked mostly with children. I've seen some children that came in that had a lot of innate talent, but just chose not to develop it. I don't know what it was. They, I guess they didn't want to put in the time or the effort, and it just fell by the wayside. They just like, for some reason, quit. They just wanted to do other things, even though they were very talented. On the other hand, I had some students who weren't that talented, but they put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. I think I mean, obviously there are people we have seen, like, Yitzhak Perlman, who was a child prodigy who showed, tremendous talent at a very young age. Um, I think there are all kinds. I think you have like your Mozarts, you have your people who are amazing phenomena that are born and not, that are just born like that, just born like with that amazing gift. And then you have other people who are talented but need to work at it. I think for a person, whatever stage of life they are, whatever they're doing, I think if there's an area where they're talented and they really want to pursue that area, go for it. And there's always going to be, there's years ago, someone made a recording of like a small, it wasn't exactly a poem, it was like an essay that hundreds of years ago a Lutheran minister wrote and put on the side, I think, of a building or a church. It's somewhere, in one of the Puritan areas. And it was so inspiring that someone posted it and somebody else decided to make my music recording of it, like with music background. And one of the lines that this treatise talks about is basically looking at life. And it said, don't compare yourself to others. There will always be those who are greater than you and smaller than you. And that's very, very true in all areas of life. There are going to be some that are going to be just tremendously talented, but there's no reason that you can't, for whatever level you are, if this is what you want to pursue, there's no reason that you can't put forth work at it. I remember in music history, we discussed the contrast of Mozart to Beethoven. Mozart was one of these people. Of course, he was a child prodigy. He was amazingly talented, and he could just sit down and write amazing works within minutes from the top of his head. Beethoven, on the other hand, had to work at it. So the question is, well, who was greater composer, Mozart or Beethoven? And they were both just as great in different ways. Then their music was different. It was, different time period, different genre, but they were both just as great, except, one just had this amazing innate talent and the other one had to work at it.
Yeah. I think it's interesting enough to say that, like, it's not just talent. I think you have to have passion if you're going to do something. I think even if you have talent for something and you don't have passion for it, you won't go into it. It won't matter. You could be the most talented person in the world for something, but you have zero passion, you won't do it. But you can be this person who has zero talent, but you have such a passion, you're going to grind, you're going to deal with a lot, but you have that passion that drives you. I think that can take you pretty far. And that's the other thing, is that, like, there's people, and I've seen this on the internet, people complain about, is that, when they were younger, when they were in like first grade through like fifth, they were really good in school. They were talented. Everyone said how amazing they were. And like middle school hit and high school hit, and like they kind of like drifted and like floated on that like stamina, and then eventually just like fell off and was like, forget about it. Like it's too hard. And then some people who like were really bad in school, in like elementary school or middle school, and they just had the drive. They just pushed themselves, and they pushed themselves through high school and college, or it's that I think it's that other drive, that other push, where it's like you have everything at first in the beginning, and I guess if you get comfortable, the biggest thing with talent, I would say, is you should really stay uncomfortable. No matter how talented you are, you should always feel like there's something above you. I think once you feel like you're the greatest and your ego takes over, that's when it's gone, because you're no longer challenging yourself. I think you're no longer you're no longer pushing yourself because you feel like you're the greatest. Then someone's the greatest, then how can you strive higher than the greatest? You know?
That's a very good point that you brought up. I've seen a lot of people like that too. Like you're right that they have a lot of innate talent and they didn't have to really work at it. And they kind of floated on it. And you're right. And then when they hit a point where they kept getting into more complicated areas in that particular field, because they weren't used to working hard. You're right. They kind of like, they kind of like fuzzled out. They didn't feel like working hard at it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Exactly. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. Well, we're out of time, but thank you so much, Ema, for helping me with this. And we'll see you guys, God willing, next week.
Okay. Love you, honey.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.